Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today we're going to be checking up on divine masculines and what's going on with them now that we are officially in the eclipse season. The energies are ramping up, the transformation urges and nudges are ramping up as well. And as I was doing pre-shuffle of my decks, I actually felt this energy of like being in between the worlds, right? Like the masculine is in this limbo state where there is certain curiosity and excitement about what is to come. There's this feeling of anticipation because there is the understanding in the energy that something completely different, completely new is coming along. But there is still this fear of it because they don't know what it is, right? Exactly, right? What does it mean for the status quo, for what is currently out there? So there is a desire of like holding to what I have in front of me right now, just in case, because I'm not sure I'm ready to part with it just yet. Okay, let's get some more details, and the questions I will be asking today will be: what are divine masculines energy right now? What is happening in 5D space? What is happening with their thoughts? What are they thinking? What's going on in their life and what's on their mind, right? What's the focus? And then what kind of action are they taking at this time? I also have my deck with oracle messages from divine masculines. So I'll get some messages from divine masculines to feminines to see what's on their mind about the feminines and what they would like to share. And of course, as always, we start with an oracle deck. And today I was guided to take the Alice Wonderland deck. It's kind of psychedelic, I would say, just in general, even with the artwork. But it is, in a certain way, quite direct, which is the masculine energy in its natural form. So we'll see what we see. Yeah, we'll see where we go. I skipped today with my readings and now I'm reestablishing my vocabulary again. I'm also in a little bit surreal place, but not so much because of the eclipse, although of course I'm feeling it. But the more and that's where I see the beauty in doing the work consciously, on being on the conscious path, spiritual path, whether you're a twin flame or not. That you are ready for these things, and also the being more in the know about the astrology. And I will be doing some webinars on astrology. I will prepare, probably it's gonna be 2023 already, but somewhere in the beginning of the year I will prepare an online course on personal astrology and how to work with the information that you have, not just where to go to put in your information. And by the way, I usually, at least I provide it in the on Mindful Bamboo channel. In each of my readings I give a link to where you can go so you can find out at least your main signs like Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, what those are. But of course it's only the very, very tip of the iceberg. And in order to understand, for example, this is the eclipse season. We know that we just had this new moon and solar eclipse in Scorpio. What does it mean for me personally? How do I work with these energies to maximize the positive impact for myself and to kind of nivellate the negative, right? That's where this knowledge of astrology is immensely important. So the more you are in the know and the more you have at least your tools of working with, depending on what you need at a certain point, which is what the mastery is about, right? I have my tools and I know which tool to use when to get the results I want, or to get myself out of the gut, whatever it is that the goal is, right? To complete the task, to get to the finish line of whatever it is I'm trying to establish. It gets like the more you know, basically the less of a disruption these macrocosmic events bring into your life. And I'm not like showing off or trying to say that, oh wow, yeah, it's all a breeze for me. Of course not. And as everybody, I'm going through my own transformation, through my own death and rebirth. But I'm more in control of how it's happening, specifically, right, through this physical reality. And B, I'm a lot more aware of what this transformation is about. So unlike what I was just saying about the divine masculines, this gives me a lot more freedom and trust in what is happening, right? Because I know I'm in alignment. I'm following the path, right? So the fear goes away and it becomes so much easier, and not even easier, but so much more positive on so many levels. Let's put it that way, right? Happy, joyful, exciting, and the progress is faster. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I've said it. Okay, let's see what we have for divine masculine. What's the advice? What's the focus at this time as I'm recording this message? This is a timely reading, by the way. Timeless reading. Timely. It is timely, yes. If you were wondering, this is a timely reading for you guys. This is a timeless reading as well. So whenever you came across it, it was meant for you. That's why I don't put dates in the titles, not to confuse people that it was just for that specific day. Although, of course, I have that intention in mind as I'm doing daily readings. To me, usually it means that I'm reading the energy of the moment of that specific date. But it doesn't mean that it's not relevant for you if you came across a reading at some other time, or you were guided by the title, you got drawn by the title. It means that there is something important there. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like the video, to leave a comment, to share content, to check out my website. I have a blog on mindfulness and wellness. I have my online shop, so if you're interested in a personal reading or a coaching session, the easiest way to order that for me is through my website. I don't have calendars because at this time my schedule is pretty fluid, but I can guarantee you that we will schedule, if you are interested in a live reading, I do a choice of live or recorded. The price is the same, so it's up to you how you want to do it. If you're interested in live, I will definitely contact you ASAP. I'll get back to you. If you've placed an order, drop me an email, because you can actually also do like, transfer the money. I will get in touch with you and we'll schedule it within the next 2 or 3 days, basically. Usually I don't make people wait longer than that, unless of course you have very specific dates or slots when you can make it happen, and then we may need to schedule for a little bit further away. But usually it's a pretty quick turnaround. Okay, let's see. We have uncertainty, exactly what I was talking about. Number 39, choose who you will become. And yeah, my whole spiel was really about, well, not exactly about that, but that was a part of it, right? When you're in the know, your journey becomes more lighthearted and more exciting. Let me see the book, because I was gonna read something from the book. I mean, it is Alice, right? So it obviously has something from the book, Alice in Wonderland. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. At last, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and addressed her in a languid, sleepy voice. "Who are you?" said the caterpillar. This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. Alice replied rather shyly, I hardly know, sir. Just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then. Yes, that's exactly the death and rebirth energy that I was sensing and I was talking about at the beginning. So the divination message is good advice from an unexpected quarter. If you try, practice, and are willing to make mistakes along the way, you will become far more powerful and reach the place you are longing to be. Yes, it's about empowerment. and self-empowerment more than anything else. If you don't believe in yourself, Divine Masculines listening, watching, how can anybody else believe in you then? Yeah, it's also about experimenting, about trial and error, right? And that none of us are perfect. That's another message I was actually getting as I was preparing for the reading. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, right? So as long as you give yourself a break with that moment, with that statement, not meaning that you're not trying or you're not committed or you don't take it seriously, it just means that yes, it's most likely, especially when we talk about big transformations, there's a very good chance that it's not going to be perfect and you won't figure it out all at once right away, and it's just going to be at 100%. But you can do your best and ask along the way, ask for help, ask questions, be curious, experiment, right? Be open-minded to how you reach your goal, right? Those are your main guidelines for how to be there, to get there. And not to where you decided necessarily you want to be, but where the divine guidance is taking you, which could be a different place, right? That's another thing. Because in our culture, just in general, our earthly culture, right? It's a lot about expectations. And while it's good to have goals, dreams, right? This is the positive side of our ego, of something that's driving us forward. It's very important not to be narrow-minded in terms of like, this is the only way that's gonna work for me, right? Be open-minded about how you get to those goals, or even adjusting the goals on the way. So the 5D energy is Ace of Cups. I love it. Love it. Let me just put it this way, or maybe I can do this. Yes. I'll pull clarifier as well. For the thoughts, we have 6 of Cups in reverse. And for the actions, we have the Strength. I love it. Also very masculine energy. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. Yeah, that's part of the transformation. But again, the positive aspect of the Tower, and all cards have positive and negative aspects about it, is that it will bring the change regardless. It's not one of those where you're given options or you may decide to ignore it. It's gonna happen inevitably. Okay, and it could be a blessing in disguise, of course, but it's gonna be a blessing. That's the key word here. Let's clarify 6 of Cups in reverse for the thoughts of Divine Masculines at this time. The Tower, another Tower, yes. I was actually thinking about it just today that, you know, these transformations, these big changes, these Tower moments, they happen first on the energetic level, then on the conscious mind, then in your physical reality, in that order. So I'm actually quite pleased that this is happening on the conscious mind of Divine Masculines. That means that the gap between this change and how it's going to manifest with events, people, you know, the timelines in 3D, that's going to be fairly a quick journey, right? It's going to happen fairly fast then. Okay, please clarify the strengths. Okay, we have Ace of Wands. Nice. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. A lot of fire energy here. Okay, so for the 5D space, or the energetic space, we have the Ace of Cups clarified by Knight of Pentacles. So yes, in the energy, it's all divine love, and Divine Masculine couldn't be more content and excited for what is to come. But they know that they cannot just like, it's about balanced progress, and that's where the Knight of Pentacles comes in. Although this is the after tarot, so it's a little different, and Actually, it's where the knight is looking carefully at the pentacle, right? It's like analyzing it, right? Thinking it through, taking a look at from a different angle. So there's a bit of analytical approach here, a little bit of pragmatic approach, if you wish, with how divine masculines give and receive love, with how they not just understand love, but yeah, how they perceive love in general, right? So in the 5D space, there is still some exploration, but I'm getting that it's on a much higher level than it was before. So energetically, divine masculines are in a, like, this is actually something to celebrate. They are at a pretty high level ascended space in terms of self-love and in terms of how they see this giving and receiving of love with someone else. And this is just kind of adding certain touches to it because of the last cycle, right? So the cycle ended. Now we are in a new cycle with the eclipse season. And this is the time when the masculines, especially, well, all of us really, right? This is the time for us to integrate what we have learned in the previous cycle, right? And kind of transform it into something that we can use in real life, right? And this is that transmutation. This is that phase that, again, first happens on the energetic level. So divine masculines have gathered more lessons in terms of what love really is, what self-love is, what unconditional love is. And they're integrating these lessons because they know that they will need this information long-term, and they will need to put it to pragmatic use. Because at the end of the day, you know, we can be in this float in this lovey-dovey energy at times, right? But we still at some point have to come back to earth, figuratively speaking, right? And go about our daily life and build certain plans and make a living for ourselves. That's the beauty of this experience, right? So it's important to kind of build a connection between this energy that we've learned about and then how does it then projects into our physical life. In the thought space, we have Six of Cups in reverse, clarified by the Tower. So I did speak about childhood memories in my last, actually I think it was the eclipse reading. I was talking about childhood memories and inner child work. So again, this is the continuation of that story, but this is the episode where divine masculines actually get some important revelation. And what I'm seeing with this card being in reverse is that certain experiences or memories that they perceived as happy were not very happy after all. And something is happening right now that's bringing them back to those moments, to those habits, right? Like it could be, what I mean by that is like maybe it was like a habit of, I don't know, going to the seaside or a certain place every summer, for example, when they were at school. Something along those lines, right? And maybe they used to remember it as something very happy. But now as they see it with the new eyes, first of all with adult eyes, second of all with the eyes of a more healed and ascended person, right? More conscious. They will see that there were so many holes around it, like how it happened or what was said or how they were perceived, you know, like all of these nuances again, right? And there will be a Tower moment of how traumatic those experiences actually were. Like there were good times, but there were equally bad times there. I just gave you an example. Of course, it can be different for your story, but that's the essence of it, right? And there is this big revelation now that maybe it wasn't that healthy and happy as they liked to think when they were a child. Not like they remembered it, right? Or maybe that was the case because they suppressed a lot of the darker moments. For the actions that they're taking, we have the Strength clarified by Ace of Wands, both very fiery energies. And I like that because that's the essence of the masculinity. So the masculines are stepping into their true masculine side, but this is the integrated masculine energy, and that's the beauty of it, right? This is where it's more of this protector and creator energy, right? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna create and I'm gonna achieve. But this is coming from a healthy space, so it's driven by creativity and inspiration, right? This is that divine spark that gives that empowerment, right? We're just talking about it. The self-empowerment is the most important empowerment that can be, right? It needs to come from within rather than from external validation. And with this important knowledge, divine masculines have the strength, the courage, the self-empowerment to move forward with something brave, something that maybe they've been thinking before but didn't have the guts to try. Or maybe they just got this idea and in the older days they wouldn't pursue it, but now they feel strongly enough, like they feel strong enough to pursue it, to just go for it, driven by this inspiration. Okay, before I leave you, I'm gonna get some messages from the M's to the F's, divine feminines. What would the M's like to tell their feminines at this time? What's on their heart and mind? What would they like to share with the feminines? Okay, got a couple. Okay, I'll take this one as well. So we have, I'm so sorry I hurt you. Please forgive me. Children and family issues are a factor. That's what's keeping them in the limbo state, I'm getting. Something that it's not just like my title or money or even like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's something deeper. It's like family in this case is more about like, you know, I know that I'm the only one that this person has, right? Or like it's my mom and I feel responsible to take care of her, or the children obviously also, like, right, they are my dependents and I feel responsible for seeing certain things through for them, right? And of course we know that there's always like a secondary or maybe even a third layer to it, to the story of how you can still make the changes. But that's the mindset right now that divine masculine has. I feel this huge pull to you and it scares me. Oh yes, you don't know this, but you are the reason why I get out of bed every day. Yes, that's that big cup of love that we saw on the energetic level. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye everyone.